The head I'm waiting, I guess she tweet, I guess she confess, she thinking less, not drinking less. Bathroom says, best to get spontaneous, our stereotype. Put to rest tonight. Imagine, believe, and achieve, it works. Skyline as a rise like fireworks. Smell through the bad.
Hey, hello everybody, and welcome to this edition of After the Storm, your Oklahoma City Thunder post-game analysis show. And I want to say the Thunder won again, 126-104, their fourth straight double-digit win. Thunder are rolling right now, and like what I see from the Thunder, despite some of the coaching things that have happened. I know that I don't really like talking about coaches and what happens, but this guy just continues to amaze me, and we win in spite of him, not because of him, and it's just so frustrating to watch, and we'll go into it, why I say what I say. I was listening to a thing earlier, and I was talking about how he comes out, we got to get off to a good start. Well, when you start the right people, that's what happens. You get off to a good start. You don't start the right people, that's what happens. And so a lot of that, is on you, coach. You got to put the right people in, because some of your starting lineups, I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And if you're winning, why are you changing your lineups? If you're winning with a specific starting five, why would you change it? I just don't understand it. We have a guy who's undefeated as a starter. He doesn't start every now and then. What are you doing? Do we not want to win? Clearly, we're at 22. By the way, Thunder won 126-106. We're at 22-23. And we beat the Pacers, who are 23-23. You know what our over and under was this year? 23 wins. 23 wins was the over under. It was 26 when we drafted Chet, and when Chet went down, it was 23. We're one game short of that. Now, I predicted 31-33, and if we really played well, I predicted we'd win 40 games. Everybody thought I was out of my mind. Everybody. I was at Cutting Up the Barbershop, which I'll be there tomorrow. And we were talking about that. They were like, man, you're out of your mind. No way the Thunder's going to win that many games. I was like, dude, you people didn't see what I saw at the end of last year. I saw a team that was making a transition with SGA starting to take over, with Josh Giddey starting to get better and starting to grow as a player. You could just see it. You could see we had a nucleus of two guys, and then you got Dort coming in, but I just want him to settle down and play more defense than I do scoring. I just do. Because you got to have – to be good teams, you got to have somebody who can stand up on the defensive end and stop somebody. And when you do that, your offense is going to suffer. So the question is, does the Thunder want to win and have a stopper, or do the Thunder want to just coast and do whatever and have a guy who can do both? He can't do both. He's got to do one or the other. Either he's going to help you score and play some defense, or he's going to be your defensive guy and go, hey, get him. That's what you have to decide. And the Thunder just haven't figured that out for whatever reason. It is what it is. So my keys to the game were simple. We got to get off to a good start, 17-1. I think that was a pretty good start. Take care of the basketball. We didn't necessarily do that over the end with the amount of turnovers that we had, and we'll talk about that at the end. We have to play within ourselves, which we more than did tonight. And then we have to use that Heat game, continue to use the Heat game as a motivation to for us to continue to grow. And ever since that game, we've just been a different team. SGA's just been a different player because, let's face it, we gave that game away. When you're up 111, 105, 53 seconds left, and you have the ball and you lose, that's just not acceptable. Anyway, so the Thunder start out with SGA, Josh, Dort, J-Dub, and K-Will. We got up to, like I said, a 17-1 start. And the thing that I like about it, we were just moving the ball. The movement of the ball was just absolutely fantastic. Guys cutting, moving, knocking down wide open shots. And like I said, I don't mind the Thunder shooting threes. As long as you're wide open and you're not trying to make a play and trying to do something. But if you catch it in rhythm and you're there, hey, dude, you got to shoot that. Now, if you missed a couple, then, hey, just step in and knock down the mid-range just to get your rhythm, and then step back out and knock the three down. But get a rhythm. If you just keep shooting three after three and you may miss two or three in a row, hey, step in and knock down a mid-range. Go to the line, get a foul, and get your rhythm as far as the free throw line. That's what I always tell my kids at the Matt Clark Basketball Academy. Listen, this is what you do. If you're not knocking down shots, go to the free throw line and get your rhythm. You watch SGA. He shoots a lot of free throws. Why? He gets his rhythm. James Harden, that's how he was. When he was shooting all those free throws, he got his rhythm, and it allowed him to knock down the three even more because he was in rhythm, already had strokes. Steph Curry, the same way. KD, same way. Kyrie, same way. This is just how they are. But the thing that I loved is that we kept keeping them in front of us. We weren't allowing them to get out, slide over, get in front of us. We did a great job of keeping them in front of us. We were making them shoot threes. We had people in their hand. They had open looks. They had nothing inside to look at. We clogged up the lane. We did not give them very few open looks from outside. They were missing. And what do we always say? Long rebounds equal what? Long shots equal long rebounds equal what? Equal transition baskets, which equal what? Flow of the game. And that's exactly what happened. They were shooting the long threes. We're getting the rebound. Boom. We're going 3-on-1, 2-on-1 fast breaks, knocking down the shots, hitting them in rhythm in the threes. Great job of doing that. And then the thing that I like is that we weren't shooting a bunch of threes. We were attacking. And when the Thunder are in attack mode, it makes us that much more formidable. It really, really, truly does. It makes us that much more formidable as far as what I like to see in our team, how we move, how we do things. It makes life a lot easier. So at the end of the first quarter, the Thunder playing fantastic. Loved everything that I saw. We were up 36-20. The Pacers are 1 for 8 from three, which allowed us to, like I said, get out in transition, get some easy baskets. And getting out in transition gets easy baskets means what? It gives us the time to get into the flow of the game and kept them to 31% free throw shooting. Like I said, we did a great job of keeping them in front. We weren't giving them open looks. Every time they took a shot, pretty much somebody had a hand in their face, and they only had 10 rebounds and 10 pips. You know, that's my favorite, points in the paint, which the Thunder excel at, and then 6 turnovers. Oklahoma City 5 for 11 from three. Like I said, you're getting out in transition. You're knocking down the easy shots. You've got a nice flow to the game. It makes life a lot easier. It's only when we stop doing that and we start thinking, oh, we can shoot threes, that's when the Thunder's shooting percentage goes way, way down. 60% from the field, 12 rebounds, 12 pips, only six turnovers, which I thought was way too many for the first quarter. We usually have 3 to 4. 6 is way too many for a quarter. Bench scoring, the Pacers, I don't know why I forgot to put that on. The Pacers had 13, Oklahoma City 10 as far as bench scoring is concerned. So, you know, when I look at that and look at what I saw, I loved everything that I was looking for from the Thunder. I love what we were trying to do defensively. So to start the second quarter, you started with Josh, Trey Mann, Baisley, which we hadn't seen a Baisley sighting in a minute, Muscala, and Wiggins. And what I saw in this was that when you got it, there was no offensive rhythm whatsoever with this group. I mean, all of a sudden, the Pacers get into a nice flow. They start attacking us. We couldn't stop them off the dribble. They're getting whatever shot that they wanted, however shot they wanted. They got into a rhythm, started knocking down shots. All of a sudden, it's a 7-0 run. And I'm thinking, okay, you need to make a switch. And so what did they do? Bring in Muscala for Baisley at that point after the 7-0 run, which would make it 36-27 at that point. And then all of a sudden, what were we doing? Shooting threes. Start shooting threes. I mean, not in any kind of rhythm, just coming down in the offensive set, just shooting threes because we're up. Oh, we're going to blow them out. No, that's not how you got up. You got up on the defensive side, creating turnovers, getting your hand in their face, getting them to shoot long shots, getting the long rebound, attacking the basket, getting out in transition, getting into a rhythm. That's how we got the lead. How you lose the lead is playing half court, thinking you're a three-point shooting team, taking shots, not taking care of the basketball, overpassing. Look, you know, I saw with Jay Will, he was in there, and, you know, he's in there like, dude, slow down. Wiggins, slow down. You get a nice pass. Man made a great pass to him. All of a sudden, he's trying to kick it out, lose the ball. I'm like, guys, come on. Quit trying to overthink. Quit trying to do too much. And it was just bad because Jay Will, it was Josh, Trey Mann, Baisley, Jay Will, and Wiggins. It wasn't Muscala because they put Muscala in for Baisley. But it was like, dude, slow down. Take care of that. Thunder starts shooting threes, and what they do, they go on a 15-4 run. And we're sitting there looking. And, you know, I got people in the stands. I'm like, okay, they're making a run, put in SGA, and he's just sitting there looking at the clock. And that's why my friends nicknamed him Eminem. He's the minutes manager. That's what he does. He's the minutes manager. They call him Eminem, minutes manager, because he manages minutes. It's like, dude, they're making a run. Put SJ in the back in the game. It doesn't matter that it's, they're making a run. What difference does it make if you put him into 6 minutes or 8 minutes? It makes a huge difference because they're coming at us. You have to have a stopper in there. And he just sits over there and puts his hand on top of his belly and looks up at the damn. Bro, sub. I've got people behind me screaming sub. They don't even know the damn game. But they know it well enough to know that, hey, put our starters back in. You can hear him put the starters back in. What are you doing? He doesn't know what he's doing. He's a minutes manager. And as my guy Mark Long of SRB calls him, he's Mr. 2 minutes too long. He waits 2 minutes too long. He always does that. He costs us 8 to 10 points a game, every game, because he's a minutes manager and he's 2 minutes too long. Every game. Drives me absolutely insane. So finally, up 40 to 35, he brings in SGA with 5 minutes and 47 seconds. He subs SGA, Isaiah Joe, K. Will, J. Dub, and Dort. And then the D immediately came out and went bam, 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 bust him in the face. Okay? And we ended up finishing out the half 58 to 44. 58 to 44. That was the halftime score. And remember, we had 40 points with 5 minutes to go. So that other group, so in 5 minutes, we scored 18 points in 5 minutes. 18 points in 5 minutes. Why? You didn't have the right combination in there. He did not have the right combination in there. Just very frustrating to watch. Pacers, 5 for 17 from 3, 39% from the field, 23 rebounds, 18 pips, 15 turnovers. Thank God, and we got those late in the second quarter, which allowed us to get back in the game and to take the lead and extend it. So that's what happened with that. OKC, 9 for 22. And remember, we were the first quarter. The first quarter, we were 5 for 11. And then what did we end up? 9 for 22. So we were 4 for 11 the second quarter. 4 for 11. And they were just some terrible shots. And we started knocking Sam Dunn. Isaiah Joe knocked down a couple late, which got us back in, which helped us. But I guarantee you, if you look at what that group did before and then what Isaiah Joe and Dort and SGA did when they got back in the game, you can see the difference. I don't think those guys made it through. They may have been 0 for 4. And then you had to bring Isaiah Joe and them back in there to make a difference with SGA. But anyway, the Thunder, 43% from the field, 21 rebounds, 20 pips, 7 turnovers. The Pacers and the Thunder both tied 18 apiece at halftime and bench scoring. It was very frustrating, like I said, to watch that second quarter. And, when I got people behind me sitting there screaming what I'm screaming, I'm just like looking at him like, I know. What are you mean? He does it every single game. The Heat game, which I'm still not over. Clearly our team's not over. We've been on a tear ever since then. We're winning in spite of him. Sam Presti has to make a decision. This guy was great for what he was doing, what he was hired for at that time. Now you've got a team trying to go to another level. He's not the guy. We should have at least, we're 22 and 23? We should have at least 4 wins, at least 4, probably 5. Okay? We should be 27 and 18 easily right now if you got the right coach. Easily 27 and 18. Easily. You have 5 wins in your loss column that should be in your win column. It's time that we make a decision. Next year, it's fine if you want to keep him out this year, whatever, but you've got to make a decision and put somebody else in there. If you leave him in there, the Thunder are not going to make the jump that they need to make in order to win these games we need to win. He is not it. He was a great guy for what we were doing at the time when we were losing and just trying to manage and do whatever. That's fine. Now you've got a team who wants to play. You got an NBA All-Star player. You got an NBA All-Star caliber player coming up in Josh Giddey. You've got to get him somebody who can take them to the next level. This guy is not it. Now, if you're trying to hold us back, Sam, and you're not trying to win, then keep the guy in there. and we're going to win some games, and we're going to win 30, 40 games. We're going to be in the bottom half of the season, no question. But if you want to make that move, make that transition, take this team to another level, this guy is not it. It's frustrating to watch, and I'm sure the players are sitting there going, "What the hell's going on?" And I believe after that game, SGA has just decided, "To hell with this shit. We're going to win in spite of all this nonsense." And that's what it looks like the Thunder has done as a group. At this point, I want to take this time to thank our sponsors, Collaborative Logic. I appreciate everything they're doing to keep our show running and keep it up and going. Mark Long over at SRB, appreciate them at Engineering, Surveying, and Planning. They are the people that you want to holler at. Oak Grove Trucking and my guy Jose Fierro if you need dirt and rocks moved. Greg and Max Nafee doing what they always do and supporting me in everything I do. Appreciate those guys. Last but not least, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, member of the FDIC. You can pre-qualify online for any personal or business loans at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. That's for any commercial or personal loans. They are the people to talk to. And then we also want to thank them for their sponsorships for us to go out and do remote live streams at Black, minority, and women-owned businesses in the OKC area. We appreciate them doing all that. And of course, all the MC Sports Network shows. We have After the Storm, which is the one you're listening to now. We have the Unpopular Hour, Women Only Wednesday, which we kind of cut that out. We just have the Unpopular Hour. And what we do is you can search on these on YouTube, and you search After the Storm, OKC Thunder, all these pop up. You hit like, subscribe, and notifications, and every time we do a show, it'll pop up. The Unpopular Hour with Matt Clark, that will pop up. You can do that as well. And the show comes on weekdays at 2. We're going to be changing the Unpopular Hour's time because we are going to start coming on earlier simply because we're going to start going to high schools on Mondays, on every other Monday, and then we're going to try to make it every Monday for us to highlight different high school coaches, different high schools, the players, just talk a little bit about them and to give them a little bit more love. And so that's something we're going to do, and those will be on at 1 o'clock. So we're slowly starting to expand, slowly starting to evolve. And then something that we will be adding, my guy Mike Deba came up with a great thing. Every segment, starting in our next show, we're going to do something called the rules of the game. And every show, I'm going to do some sort of rule to explain it to you. The next show, we're going to talk about half court. What's a violation of half court? What's over and back? What can you do? What you can't do? What are the rules of that? So we're going to go over that. The next one's going to be what's the difference between a charge? Why is the charge line there? What does all that mean? So that's another thing that we're going to start out. So at the beginning of the third quarter, remember the Thunder lead all NBA teams in the third quarter as far as point differential. I think it's 3.9. We lead 3.6 or 3.9. I got to go back and check it. But anyway, we lead all NBA teams in third point there. That's when we make our run. That's when we've made all the difference. And guess who's on the court? We're doing that time. SGA, our all-star, right? And remember, if you haven't gone to vote for that young man. But we started the third quarter with SGA, Dort, Josh, J-Dub, K-Will, the same starting five. Like the fact that he's finally doing that, starting the same group. And what did we do? Same thing we were doing in the first quarter. Passing the ball, great ball movement, people moving around, being very patient on offense, taking care of the basketball, people cutting to the basket. Movement was fantastic. We were great on defense, keeping them in front once again, taking advantage of that, taking long shots, getting out, boxing out, getting the rebound, taking off, doing great in transition. And what happens? The energy just rose in the gym. And when our energy rose and the crowd, it wasn't as great a crowd as I would have liked to see, but at the same time, the crowd was into it. They love it. And people, start going to the games, man. I promise you'll love it. And remember, the games are more than just a game. It's an event. It's something to do. It's fun. You run into people. You get to have fun. You get to enjoy yourself. Now, you can have a beverage or two. I don't get a chance to enjoy as many beverages as I used to, but yet at the same time, it's still a lot of fun going to the games. Thunder in the third quarter outscored the Pacers 100-73. I mean, you just look at that, man. I mean, 100. That's just. I mean, the Thunder on fire. 44 points in that half. Excuse me, 42 points in that quarter. Thunder were just rolling. I mean, just got out on them and punched them in the mouth. And same thing we did in the first quarter, and at the end of the second quarter when he had the right group in there. Pacers 10 for 30 from three, 43% from the field, 32 ribbies, 34 pips, 17 turnovers, which is what we average. We lead the league in that and turning our opponents over 17 times a game. So in the third quarter, they've already got 17 turnovers. We 12 of 27. Once again, when we get out in transition, we make good shots. We take care of the basketball. We're not shooting a bunch of crazy threes. We're not trying to do heat checks and everything. We're right at the line and we're knocking them down. Fantastic. 12 of 27 from three. Just love that. 52% from the field, 37 rebounds, 46 pips. And that's SGA, that's attacking the basket, that's getting out and taking advantage in transition. That's what that is. 13 turnovers. The Pacers killing us. Remember, we were 18 each at halftime as far as bench scoring, and we only had 4 off the bench because we were just rolling. And then the Pacers, 33 points off their bench, trying to keep the game tight. So, but like I said, Thunder rolling. Love what I saw in the third quarter. So now, what's going to happen in the fourth quarter? You know who we're going to come in there with? What's going to happen? Started Josh, Baisley, K. Will, Mann, and Wiggins. And the difference is this time you got K. Will in there. So you got trying to get you a little bit more scoring, get you a little bit more stable. Unlike the second quarter, you got to get somebody else in there who can do something. And it made a huge difference, just that group of what you had in there. And the one person makes a difference. One person makes a difference in how everything flows. Now, poor Baisley, you know, we didn't extend him. I don't know what we're doing. I mean, he's just, you can tell he's just not there. It's kind of like Trey Mann. Trey is just disintegrated right in front of our eyes. And a lot of it has to do with Isaiah Joe, and Isaiah Joe has earned it. And remember, if you'll go back when we got Isaiah Joe at the beginning of the season, and I told everybody, man, I love this pickup. And this is why. And everybody sees now when I said that, what I meant by that when that happened. One of the first people to say that. I didn't hear all these other shows. Nobody even understood what the hell that was because they don't know what they're doing. They don't understand the game. And I'm telling you, my job is to help you, to get you to understand, to give you motivation, to give you insight into the little things that make a difference to help you become more knowledgeable, because the more knowledgeable you are as a fan, the more you're going to want to support the Thunder. That's what I see. That's what I do. And anyway, so the Thunder, let's just close it out. Thunder into the game, 126 to 106. Thunder improving to 22 and 23. Pacers 23-23 altogether. The Pacers were 12 of 33 from the three, 41% from the field, 48 rebounds, 46 pips, 23 turnovers. We got them 6 turnovers there in the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, we got 6 turnovers out of them, which just continued. Our pressure was really good with that other group got in there. Thunder, 16 for 38, 50% from the field, 42 ribbies, 48 pips, 17 turnovers. Way too many turnovers against a good team. That's not going to work, and I've already said that many times on the show after the storm. You know, you cannot turn the ball over that many times against a good team. It will cost you. Pacers 56, Thunder 42. As far as bench scoring is concerned, when you look at the first half, the second half, you know how I like to do that. You look at the Pacers, ended up being 7 for 16 from three. The Thunder ended up being 7 for 16 as well from three. And a lot of that was in the fourth quarter, just jacking up shots. It just, third quarter, we were very, very efficient in what we needed to do. You can see what they improved their field goal percentage by 2 percentage points. The Thunder improved by 7. They out-rebounded us by 2. They ended up by 6, but that was pretty much, the game was pretty much over, and shots are being fired up at that point. Pips, we had them by 2, ended up by 2, winning. Turnovers, we had them by 8, ended up by 6 turnovers. Point bench scoring, they just murdered us, and simply because our bench was, you know, it was whatever. The game was pretty much out of hand at that point when the bench players were in the game. Look at the Thunder box score. It's concerned J Dub, 11 points, 4 for 10 from the field, 1 for 4 from three with 6 rebounds and 6 assists. Kendricks Williams, 12 points, 5 for 8, 2 for 4 from three, 5 ribbies, 10 assists. Love that number, 10 assists. Way to go, Kendricks. Way to pass the ball. Making up for those missed free throws that he had against the Heat. SGA, 23 points, 7 for 17. Not a very workmanlike day, but they're doing a good job of closing out the lane for him. But a lot of that has to do with the fact that we've got to have guys on the wing spreading out the floor. So when he does attack, he can kick it to him. And we got to have guys who can knock down the shots in order to open the floor more for him to be able to attack the lane, because what teams are doing are crowding the lane more and more and making it tougher for him to get to the basket. And then we got guys coming over setting screens. Don't set screens. Get away. Clear out. Open the floor so he can do his work. SGA 7 for 17 from the field, 1 for 4 from three. He had that big transitional three that he knocked down in the second quarter, made a huge difference. 3 rebounds, 6 assists. Josh Giddey, 16 points. What a workman night for him. 8 for 12, very, very efficient. 0 for 2 from three, and one of them I thought it was going in, kind of came in and out. 6 rebounds, 11 assists for Josh. He even got a block there. Like that, Josh, those long arms of his. Lucas Dort, 22 points, 8 for 14. Another good night for him, 3 for 5 from three. When he's patient and not trying to do heat checks and not trying to do too much, he can knock down shots. I like the fact that he had 9 rebounds but 1 assist. He needs more than that and learn that he needs to pass it. Baisley, it's just sad. 1 point, 0 for 2 from the field, 0 for 1 from three. With 0 rebounds, 1 turnover, no assists, no blocks. I mean, it was just like, was he even out there playing today? Jay Will, 5 points, 2 for 2. Love that young man. I love his energy. He's just so hyped up because he just not play enough. I think that he could be really amazing for us at some point, which I think he will. Anyway, Jay Will, 5 points, 2 for 2, 1 for 1 from three. 1 rebound. He's got to have more rebounds than that. Got called for a nice push-off, and we'll talk about that too. In our rules of the game, we'll work on that too. Muscala, no points, 0 for 2, 0 for 1. Did not play enough with SGA. He gets his scoring mainly because SGA setting him up. 2 rebounds. Trey Mann, 3 points, 1 for 4, 1 for 1. Trey is he's just a shell of himself. He's just, and that's the thing I want. They've got him, on lock that he's just not. He's so unsure of himself. And in that Miami game, dude, come down and knock down the 3, even though he didn't feel comfortable enough to do that, which I wish he would have made a huge difference in that comeback win for them there in the third quarter or fourth quarter. Trey, 3 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Isaiah Joe, 23 points, 7 for 12 from three, 7 for 12 from the field. Just stroking it. I mean, just stroking it. And like I said, he gets an open look and he shoots it. He takes his time. It's great. It's just when he tries to do too much and slide side over here or there, no. And he did knock down a really hard fadeaway 3 from the corner, which was nicety, very nicety by Isaiah Joe. But as long as he takes his time, catches it and shoots it in space when he's got it and sets it up, he is just extremely deadly. But Isaiah Joe, 23 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist. Great job by him. 1 block. Wiggins, that's my guy. 10 points, 5 for 10 from the field, 0 for 3 from three. 1 rebound. We got to have more than that, big fella. 1 turnover, 4 assists. We got to have a better night out of you than that. If we're gonna continue to grow as a team, we need him to get better. So, that being said, I want to thank everybody for watching this edition of After the Storm. And like I said, this was a quick show simply because when there's a blowout, there's not a lot to really talk about. I mean, it was second quarter, but other than that, there's really nothing to go over. I mean, it was kind of a blowout. We did what we needed to do. I talked about the things. I'm not one of these people who are going to talk about stuff to just to be talking. I'm gonna say what I need to say. I'm gonna make my points, and let's move on and go to something else. And then, by the way, on another side, you can see that I got my OSU stuff on. The Pokes won tonight, beating our OU Sooners, the arch rivals, 72-56. Nice win for Coach B. Love that the Cowboys took care of their business at home. And, since we've won 9 out of the last 10 there, hey, can't complain what the Cowboys are doing there. Now we just got to continue that hot streak. And this is the thing: you got to win your games at home, and then whenever you get on the road, you got to sneak one here and there. So we do have an easier schedule at the end of the year, so the Cowboys could make a run at that. But we'll talk about that more in detail tomorrow on the Unpopular Hour with Matt Clark, with my guy Drew Hinthorn of HuskerDrewPicks.com, and my guy High Stick Harry Ben Dillman. So we'll talk about that manana. That being said, I hope everybody has a fantastic night. And remember, start wrapping up because it's going to be a little cold. We got some snow possibly coming. That being said, hey, everybody be safe. Peace out. Thanks again for watching After the Storm, your Oklahoma City Thunder post-game analysis.